This is Shama. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So finally my exams are over and it's been more than a week since I posted anything. So on today's video we are going to talk about some books, some good books which are under 100. So I know there are people who wants to buy books but don't want to spend much money on it. So that's why this video is for you guys especially. So the first two books I am going to talk about is Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali, and the second book is Rabindranath Tagore's Selected Short Stories. So first, if we are going to talk about Gitanjali, who doesn't know Rabindranath Tagore? I mean, his Gitanjali got the Nobel Prize, right? So this book is a collection of poetry which he has written for God, and he is such a realized soul, and you need so much devotion in you to understand and be overwhelmed with this poetry. And this is so good and so well written, and I have read two or three poems from it, and I was crying like anything because it was so full of devotion and so overwhelming that I could not put down the book, but I had to. But I am going to read this very soon, but this is a very good read if you are into poetry genre. So the Selected Short Stories by Rabindranath Tagore. I have read this book, actually not this print, but I have read another book of him, and it is about all the short stories and some of the very good short stories of Rabindranath Tagore, and his short stories are my favorites because it has so much emotions in it that you would fall in love with it instantly. And Rabindranath Tagore is one of my favorite Indian writers, so I think you must go for him. So the next book we have is Story of My Life by Helen Keller. Helen Keller is a writer who was actually deaf and blind, and she wrote books, like so many books. And if you want to know why and how did she write these books, do read this book because this is her autobiography and she has written everything in it. I haven't read it yet, but I will soon because there is another video I am going to post which I cannot tell you about right now. But this is a story about her struggle, how she learned reading and writing being a blind and a deaf. So it was a very heartwarming read because it's about her struggle. So this is a very cheap book and it's not even much of the pages. It's like 110 pages. You can complete it in one day. So please do read it. So the next book and the next writer we have who doesn't need any introduction, it's William Shakespeare. It's Macbeth. So you guys must have heard Shakespeare's Macbeth so many times because it's such a tragedy that your heart would be ripped out. And when I started reading Shakespeare from the beginning, I was going through Othello, and after that tragedy, I decided I would read Shakespeare properly. And so I got this book from Amazon. I think it was just 192 rupees. And if you are someone who likes play and dramas, you must read Shakespeare at least. So I have two children books because if you have children in your house and you don't know what to gift them or what to make them read so that they would fall in love with reading, so here is your solution. I have two books. First is Ruskin Bond's Blue Umbrella. The second is The Little Prince. So first I would like to appreciate these covers because these are so pretty and so cute. And not just that, these books have illustrations, and when children are reading these books, they would actually love to watch, and they would love to read it because the story is also very fascinating. Also, they would fall in love with the images, and it's pretty simple, these languages. And I mean, if you are an adult you can read these too, but it's a preferably children's book, so it's your choice. But these are good books, I would tell you. So the next book we are going to talk about is Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. So firstly, I would like to say that I haven't read it yet because of some reasons I cannot tell you right now. So this book is not about Gautam Buddha, first of all. It's about a guy whose name is Siddharth, and he, like Gautam Buddha, leaves his family and everything behind in quest of knowledge. So I think this would be a very good read and very enlightening. I don't know what it is about, but I have heard so much reviews about it that I can vouch for this book. I think you must read Siddharth because it would open your eyes in many ways. Next two books I am going to talk about is for those who loves science fiction. Okay, so I have these books, Time Machine and 1984. I have already talked so much about 1984, and this is a very old book. This is my father's book actually. I have read this one, but the new ones on Amazon is very cheap. And this is about a man who is in 1984, and how science has changed everyone's life, that you don't have the rights to love, you don't have the rights to speak, or you don't have rights to even think. So this is a very dystopian world, and you would be amazed and you would be shocked to read George Orwell. And George Orwell tried to predict the future in this book, which I think somewhere or the other the world is turning in that way. I think he was right when he wrote this 1984 book. And about this time machine, there is this guy who sits in a time machine and goes to future. The age is 8 lakhs 2701. So he goes to that far in future, and the time machine is broken, and he doesn't know where to go. He is lost, and whatever he finds in that future is rest of the book. If you are into this science fiction genre, then you should go for these two books. Next book we are going to suggest is going to take you on a nostalgic ride, because this book is Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. I know you must have watched the episodes of Jungle Book on your television while we were kids, and you know the story. And I don't want you to feel that you have already know everything. I think this book has something you must not know or must not have watched on the TV. And this is such a tiny book. You can just see this is such a cute book to have. This is actually a pocket book, and this costed for 99 on Amazon. And you would be on a nostalgic ride if you are reading this book after so long of watching Jungle Book, and you would relate to Mowgli because you already know him so well. And I would like you to go on that ride. Please do read this book. So these are my top 10 suggestions of books under 100. There are other books who needs recognition, and I would love to talk about them. And if you think that cheaper books cannot be good or good books cannot be cheaper, so it's a wrong conception. There are so many books we need to recognize and read. And thank you so much if you have come this far. Please do like my video and subscribe to my channel. I'm very grateful to all of you for sticking to me. Thank you. Bye.